On 27 September 2014, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi proposed an International Day of Yoga at the United Nations General Assembly.
I have great pleasure in welcoming the Prime Minister of the Republic of India, His Excellency Narendra Modi.
Today, I would like to draw your attention to another subject. When we talk about climate change, when we talk about holistic healthcare, when we talk about unity with nature, when we talk about getting back to basics, I would like to say something special about this subject. Yoga is our ancient, traditional, and invaluable gift. Yoga symbolizes the balance of body and mind, thought and action, achievement and self-control, and the coming together of human beings and nature. It provides a comprehensive vision of health and well-being. It is not merely physical exercise, but also a means of building harmony within oneself and with the world and nature. Yoga aims at transformation of our lifestyle, and its awareness can help us in our struggle against climate change. Let us work towards making a beginning in this direction with an International Day of Yoga.
From its ancient beginnings in India, over 5,000 years ago, to the modern gyms, schools, and parks everywhere today, yoga is the world's favorite holistic health practice.
Yoga helps millions of people achieve health, well-being, balance, harmony, and real inner peace and happiness.
Yoga transcends religious, geographical, ethnic, and racial boundaries and helps us all become healthier, calmer, and more harmonious human beings, building a more sustainable and peaceful planet.
But what really is yoga, and how does one practice it? Can yoga really bring us into harmony with our deepest selves and nature?
Join us as we take a journey into yoga.
Every year in February, thousands of people from all over the world make their way to one of India's most sacred sites at Rishikesh in the Himalayas to experience, learn, and share yoga. The week-long International Yoga Festival attracts yogis from over 50 countries for a week of workshops, meditations, classes, initiations, and dialogues with living yoga masters. This is the biggest and most global gathering of yoga teachers anywhere in the world today.
When I came to India, I learned what yoga really means as a union. And suddenly my yoga in India became not just the body, but the body, the mind, the thoughts, the emotions, the spirit. And in India, I started to have a glimpse of the real yoga, that union of ourselves to the divine.
I always be sick. Always. I don't know the reason, but when I decided to quit, start practice yoga, and I feel your life become more colorful and meaningful.
This is my 8th trip to the International Yoga Festival. I come to study with the masters, the teachers, to learn, to study, to grow, to evolve.
Yoga, it means to us unity and love, inner love and peace.
When I was a student, I got a little bit sick. I just met yoga. I practiced. I could recover my health completely, or I get more healthy than before. So I was really surprised. I started to interest in yoga very much.
But where did this all begin?
Human beings have always struggled to live in harmony with nature, as our needs have often gone against what is best for the planet or for each other. Somewhere in India's long history, the desire for a harmonious relationship between the human being and nature turned inwards. This inner journey came to be known as yoga. The origins of yoga can be found over 5,000 years ago in the Indus-Saraswati Valley civilization. Archaeologists discovered carvings, seals, and artifacts displaying yoga-like practices, poses, and greetings, similar to those found later in the depictions of Pashupati, Rudra, and the god Shiva. Shiva is considered to be the first and original yogi who taught mankind the art and science of yoga. This connection can still be seen in the sadhus, yogis, and mystics traveling across India, Tibet, and Nepal.
The word yoga comes from Sanskrit and came into popular usage during the Vedic period around 1000 BC. The word comes from the root yuj, which means to bind, to yoke, to align, or to hold. It is about realigning ourselves with our deepest selves and with nature as well, returning to the source.
Yoga's philosophy has its origins in Sankhya philosophy, which describes the universe as a duality between Purush and Prakriti, or consciousness and nature. Yoga was well known across India and began to appear in Vedic scripture, particularly the Upanishads, as well as in Buddhist and Jain teachings of that age. The Upanishads speak of 4 types of yoga practices: mantra, or the repetitions of sacred sounds; laya, or devotional connection to a higher being; hatha, or the channelization of internal energies; and Raja Yoga, or what came to be known as Dhyan or Ashtanga Yoga. Today, all schools of yoga around the world can trace their origins back to one of these principles. In the 2nd century BC, the teachings of yoga were codified into a written scripture known as the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Om, now yoga is explained. Yoga is the stilling of the modifications of the mind stuff so the seer can see their true and original selves.
According to Patanjali, the purpose of yoga is to overcome the attachments to the physical world in order to realize one's true consciousness.
According to the Taittiriya Upanishad, the human being is made up of 5 layers or koshas that act in unison.
When the koshas are out of balance, they lead to disease, disharmony, and suffering. When brought together through yoga, they lead to a state of perfect health, a meditative mind, and pure bliss.
At the core is the physical body, or the Annamaya Kosha. Then there is the life force or energy body known as the Pranamaya Kosha. Then there is mental consciousness or the world of the mind known as Manomaya Kosha. Then there is the higher mind or the intuitive discerning mind known as the Vijnanamaya Kosha. And then finally is the ultimate state of being or the perfect blissful state called the Anandamaya Kosha. Prana